for the Association for Experiential Education. This year's award recipient, the organization is the Santa Fe Mountain Center. Center is a nonprofit educational and therapeutic organization founded in 1979.
My daughter taking a picture with a cell phone. Thank you. I said last year when I was doing the Kurt Hahn introduction of Nina Roberts, I'm part of the Glasses Club now, and I still am. I was hoping I could get rid of them, but they're still here. Hey, thank you so much. Elaine, the awards committee, this is absolutely phenomenal for us. It's really actually quite mind-blowing. We've been around for 30 years, and I can't start saying my appreciations and acknowledgments without first saying the name of a person who helped make the Mountain Center possible. And many of you, or at least some of you in this room, know the name I'm getting ready to say. And that is Dr. Rocky Kimball. So Rocky Kimball and Tom Stitch and Mark Hess back in the middle 70s, studying at University of Colorado Denver. Were you in the room? Were you with us? Dan was a part of that whole crew. They had a huge vision for the Mountain Center back in the day. And Rocky Kimball is part of the reason I stand before you. And he is one of the shoulders that myself and the staff and the board of directors are standing on, because he is one of the pioneers in our association. And I stand humbly before you and give credit to Rocky and his vision back in 1979 when the Mountain Center was incorporated as a nonprofit. I think we like to pay tribute to those of you who know Rocky Kimball, and I wish you were here today, because I know he would be really proud. And believe me, he and I are going to be having a conversation very soon. He's still connected to the Mountain Center and still loves the work of the Association for Experiential Education. On behalf of the board of directors of the Santa Fe Mountain Center and the staff who are sitting right over here, which I'll talk about in just a few minutes, I say thank you. I say thank you to the Association for Experiential Education, the awards committee, and all the work you do to make what we do understood and known and accepted, and in spreading the good news of the work we're doing, which is inspiring hope, which is such a great message that we have in our country right now with the current election. And on that note, the Mountain Center, I think, is hugely about hope, as most of us are. I want to start with a couple of quotes. We just had our third accreditation site visit, and Dr. Mike Gass, you in the room? Please tell me you are. Oh, my heart is breaking. I'll find him later. In that accreditation review, he said a few things I think are really important for you all to hear in terms of me accepting this honor and this award. And he said to us, board of directors, staff, like riveted. I said, Mike, and to Paula and Henry Wood, who are reviewers, I said, please dig deep, because we live it every day. We want to walk away with something that can help make us better. And here are a few things that he said. With greatness comes great responsibility, and I think that's where you are, what you all are doing. You're doing great things here, but now you have the responsibility to advance this great practice beyond the folks that you work with. Meaning we need to continue to influence the field by doing things like evidence-based practices and continuing to promote and practice best practices. He also said you have a strong vocal stance on social justice. You don't just see it or live it as a buzzword. You live social justice every day. At the Mountain Center, we work with, as Elaine said, some of the most marginalized populations, not only in New Mexico, but in our world. He also said your stance with social justice issues just takes it to the very fiber of what it's meant to be. And And that's huge. The Mountain Center is about social change and social justice and personal discovery, and we take it very seriously in every single program that we work with. The other thing he said was about our staff. And you can have a great executive director, you can have a great board of directors. If you don't have a great staff, you just don't have it going on. We have a great staff. There's what he said about our staff. Staff, after a day of working with these kids, this is his observation, we're still having fun with one another. That doesn't happen all the time in all programs. They wanted to be with one another. They wanted to hear about each other's stories, about what happened that day. They wanted to hear and know and understand the richness of what happened, not only with themselves, but in particular with the programs and the people that they were working with on that particular day. How can we make it better? How can we take what we did today and make it better the next time we work with these groups? His impression was, wow, they were having a really good time and they were truly enjoying each other after a day of hard work, teaching anti-bullying skills to a group of 5th graders from one of the poorest schools in Santa Fe County. So at this moment, I would like to take a moment and acknowledge the staff of the Santa Fe Mountain Center. Would you all please stand up? Names and using names are really important. I'm going to point them out to you. And if you haven't met them, please introduce yourself and vice versa. This is Marge Kelly, Associate Director of the Santa Fe Mountain Center. She's the glue. She's the glue. Jen Jefferson, our Program Manager of the Fairfield. That program is what started the Mountain Center in 1979 when Rocky Kimball took state money and said, you know what, use your money wisely and invest in preventing kids from getting further in trouble and deeper into the juvenile justice system. That's the program that started the Mountain Center, and Jen Jefferson is the program manager. Justin Brayman, who's John Brayman, we both know John Brayman. His son, Justin, stand up, make yourself known. Thank you. And Matt is one of our newest facilitators. He's come with an amazing amount of inspiration. He's an expert snowboarder, and he has a past experience that brings so much distance to the kids that he works with. It's amazing. Pueblo, she works in Native communities all around New Mexico, teaching empowerment skills, helping young Native people, the community she comes from, to understand why things are the way they are and how they can make things different, because she has a passion. She was a participant at the Santa Fe Mountain Center 8 years ago, and now she's a full-time staff. So give it up for her. And Tony Dixon, one of our amazing facilitators, who had a calling. And he just needed the right moment at the right time. And Marge Kelly, who hires all our staff, had that moment with Tony. And he said, you know what, I want to do this work and I want to figure out how to do it. And even though I don't come from this background, I have a passion. I have something I feel like I have to offer. And we are so blessed to have Tony's expertise, his language, his culture, his participation in so many different ways. So, Tony, you're awesome. In closing, I don't know how many minutes I have. Somebody give me a signal. My last piece that I want to share with you is, time's up? All right. Last comment from Mike Gatz, and in closing. When you come here to work, you don't make it here unless you're ready to be responsible for a program that you're working with. If you don't have a passion and you don't have some kind of calling. When staff feel that way, that's when truly great things happen. That's the essence that is pervasive throughout this organization. It is truly one of the great strengths of what goes on here. Please keep it up. I say to all of you and to the people who nominated the Mountain Center, thank you so much. And we're going to continue to do great things, and we feel very responsible to continue to contribute to the body of knowledge of AEE and to our field.